Now, Civil Aviation Minister for State Murlidhar Mohol has spoken for the first time after the Ahmedabad plane crash exclusively to NDTV, and he has said that the investigation report of the Ahmedabad plane crash is expected to come out in 3 months. The black box of AI-171 will not be sent to any other country for investigation, as it was reported by certain media entities, which was in fact corrected by NDTV. The plane crash is also being investigated from the angle of sabotage. Remember, 271 people died in this air crash tragedy that took place in Ahmedabad on a few days back. Let's first listen in to this interview.
मोहल जी 3 हफ्ते होने को आए हैं, सभी जानना चाहते हैं कि आखिर इस हादसे के पीछे का कारण क्या था। जांच शुरू हो चुकी है, लेकिन क्या कुछ प्राथमिक जानकारी मिल चुकी है कि क्या ये ह्यूमन एरर था, क्या ये मैकेनिकल एरर था, क्या बर्ड हिट था या फिर कोई सैबोटेज था?
ये एक बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना है और उसके बाद इमीडिएटली AAIB के माध्यम से उसकी जांच शुरू हो गई। उसी एयरक्राफ्ट में ब्लैक बॉक्स मिला, वो ब्लैक बॉक्स भी अभी AI के कस्टडी में है, उसकी इंक्वायरी चल रही है। उसमें अभी जो डाटा है वो डाटा भी शायद अभी वो ट्रांसफ़र होगा, उस पर कुछ ना कुछ तो सामने आएगा। एक हाई लेवल इंक्वायरी कमेटी भी, जांच कमेटी भी अपॉइंट करी है, उसमें देश के गृह सचिव उसके अध्यक्ष है। DGCA हो या विकास हो, ऐसी बहुत सारी एजेंसियाँ उस पर काम कर रही है, लेकिन अभी उसमें उसका कारण क्या है, इस दुर्घटना का कारण क्या है, इस पे अभी कोई मुझे नहीं लगता कि कुछ बता सकते, क्योंकि अभी तो जांच उस पर चल रही है। लेकिन ये बहुत ही रेयर घटना है, ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ कि दोनों इंजन एक साथ बंद हुए। तो ये उसका रिजल्ट जो इंक्वायरी होगी उसके बाद उसका रिपोर्ट जो आएगा तो उसमें ये आएगा कि ये एक्चुअली उसका रीज़न क्या है। ये कुछ बर्ड हिट्स का इशू है क्या, इंजन में कुछ टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम है क्या, फ्यूल सप्लाई कुछ बंद हुआ है क्या, दोनों इंजन एक साथ बंद क्यों हुए, तो ये ब्लैक बॉक्स के माध्यम से ही पता चलेगा। एक उसमें CVR भी होता है, CVR के माध्यम से दोनों पायलट एक दूसरे से क्या बात करते हैं, उसमें सब रिकॉर्ड होता है, उसके माध्यम से पता चलेगा। तो उसमें थोड़ा टाइम है और ये जो कमेटी है, जांच कमेटी जो बिठाई गई है, उस पर वो 3 महीने में अपना रिपोर्ट देने वाली है। तो अभी कुछ बताना तो जल्दीबाजी होगी, लेकिन रियली में मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो कुछ होगा वो जल्दी सामने आएगा और उस पर पूरी भारत सरकार की मॉनिटरिंग चल रही है, उस पर काम चल रहा है, थोड़ा टाइम उस पर लगेगा।
क्या सैबोटेज के एंगल से भी जांच हो रही है?
सभी एंगल से जांच होगी, सभी एंगल से जांच होगी कि एक्चुअली क्या रीज़न है, सभी एंगल से। मैंने विकास का नाम लिया, तो विकास के माध्यम से उस एयरपोर्ट पर, अहमदाबाद एयरपोर्ट पर पिछले 30 दिन से सब CCTV के रिकॉर्ड्स, वहाँ जो लोग आए थे उनके सब जो स्क्रीनिंग हुआ था उसके रिकॉर्ड्स, सबके पासपोर्ट्स, ये सभी एंगल से उसकी इंक्वायरी हो रही है अभी।
आपने ब्लैक बॉक्स की बात की, बीच में खबर आ रही थी कि ब्लैक बॉक्स जो है अमेरिका भेजा जाएगा जांच के लिए, अब उसमें क्या तय हुआ है?
बिल्कुल नहीं। कल आपने अगर देखा होगा तो हमारे मिनिस्ट्री ने ऑफिशियली उस पर प्रेस नोट भी इशू की है कि ये कहीं भी नहीं जाएगा। जो ब्लैक बॉक्स है AAIB के कस्टडी में है और इस पर पूरी जांच हम ही करेंगे, बाहर जाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं उसमें।
But is the confidence back as far as the aviation sector is concerned? Remember, people are taking flights, but there is a sense of fear as well. And this was followed by, a lot of cancellations especially as far as Air India is concerned. So to discuss this more, I'm now being joined by Dr. Sumit Suseelan, aviation expert and author. Captain Kishore Chinta, aviation safety expert, is also with us. And Sanjay Lazar, our frequent guest here on All Matters Aviation, is also with us this evening. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us. Sanjay, let me start with you. We discussed this earlier as well. Everybody is still, waiting to see at least a preliminary result of this investigation. Some hints, because people are talking about suddenly for everybody who travels in India, 787 wide body aircraft, which people didn't know about, they only knew about the airlines, has become a topic of discussion.
Thank you for having me on your show. uh, it's so sad that we all speculate 101 different reasons. There is an AAIB, there is a black box being decoded, and there is a committee that's looking into this. I wish people would give more time. Yes, you're right. There is a large amount of fear, and we saw this when the 737 MAX went down. I myself, hesitated very often to fly the 737 MAX. But let me tell you, the 787 is quite a different creature. The 787 has, over 5 million flights till date. It's 30 million flying hours. I myself, I'm right now in Toronto. I've flown to London on a 787 and from London to Toronto on a 787. So I really do not believe that there is cause for people to have fear. Yes, there is a trepidation. People are worried about, flying currently, but, aviation is still the safest way to fly. And as far as Air India goes, I still hold that Air India's pilots are one of the best in the world, if not the best. Their engineering is sound. Yes, you have had a spate of scares or over cautiousness that we've seen because everybody's on edge. And I think, the way we've made this is social media examination of the pilots, of the entire incident is sad, really.
Yes.
It's the first time we've seen that. And I think we need to move on and let the investigating team do its job. Let's not speculate.
I agree, Sanjay. I totally agree with you. But the fact is, this is the world that we live in. Now, everything comes under the scrutiny of social media. Everyone sitting on social media is an expert in his own domain and will, push out one theory after another. We saw how, certain narratives were pushed out right at the beginning as far as this aircraft crash is concerned. But having said that, this is also one of the worst aviation accidents that the world has seen, and certainly so has India. But Dr. Sumit Suseelan, how long, just to explain the process to our viewers, how long such investigations take? Because every single day people are expecting to turn over or come to television and somebody to tell them this is why this plane went down and this is the problem that we are sorting out. Like Sanjay was mentioning, I was coming back from Israel and we took the aircraft when I was entering into it. It was a 787. This is the first time probably in all the years that I've been flying, for the first time I thought about 787. Otherwise it was just get to your seat, sleep, and get down to your destination. That's the kind of psyche that people have at this moment.
Okay, thanks Ankit for joining. I would like to say straight to the point. Normally this type of procedures take 1 year time, not less than 1 year. You can come up with some end result. But the ministry had given a very strict order to come up with the result within 3 months. Whereas I was just going to the case study of a crash which happened in China in 2022. Till now, they have not got the investigation report, or they don't want to reveal it. So this type of report normally we can expect within a year time. And as we were saying, definitely there's a panic situation outside in the market where passengers are avoiding to travel now. Even the scarcity, a passenger panic situation we can see in the airports where they are fighting the airport ground staff, especially in the Air India terminals and all. So I think definitely there's a panic situation in the market, but it will take another long time to come over this panic situation because of the recent crash.
Okay. But Captain Chinta, if I can bring you in at this moment, sir. Like a lot has been speculated about the possible reasons, but I want to shift focus to the other aspect. People are talking about rostering issues, especially when it comes to Air India. All those things at this moment are under investigation. There are certain officials from Air India, those who have been, in fact, at this moment suspended and so forth. Just bring our viewers up to speed with the whole procedure as far as the pilots are concerned, the stress that they go through, and what do you think about the way the investigation is going so far?
Good evening, Ankit. Thank you for having me on your show, and good evening to my fellow co-panelists. To start with, let's address the issue of the accident investigation. There's a lot which has been said about duration and how it should be done. The Minister of State for Civil Aviation has given his statement on media channels. But what the ICAO mandates as per the Annexure 13, Chapter 7, 7.1, 7.2, is there's something called an accident incident data reporting format, where it clearly mentions that any aeroplane which is categorized as a serious accident, or the weight category is about 20 to 50 kilograms, it is mandatory to release a preliminary report on the data which has been collected, analyzed, and the initial findings. The reasons for this are: one, if there is something which is of alarming concern regarding the Dreamliner fleet, you have to inform all the stakeholders so that they take necessary safety oversight actions across the world. It has got a wide impact across the globe. Second is that the public is assured of safety concerns, and the general public is not alarmed about flying on a Dreamliner. And third, obviously, is transparency. The Accident Investigation Bureau and the investigation team is supposed to keep the media informed. It's mentioned in the ICAO ADREP Chapter 7 that, of course, considering the seriousness of the accident, there is a huge ton of aspects to be weighted, and not just the FDR and CVR analysis,
Right.
but a whole lot of other aspects of inspection of the wreckage. So there is a leeway given. It may not be 30 days, but yes, a preliminary report is mandatory.
Okay.
Now, coming to the second part, as the minister said, the document 9756 of air crash investigation clearly encompasses all aspects, including sabotage, including every single aspect. So it will be taken into account by the AAIB investigation team.
Okay.
The lack of transparency, as we all know, is the release of the official order of the investigation team. We all seem to be in the dark, other than for the PIB press release, where it mentions vaguely aviation medicine specialist and an ATC officer. Whereas the ICAO document 9756 clearly says there should be an operational investigation team, there should be an engineering of investigation team, and there should be a human factors investigation team, which could be an aviation medicine specialist. No. So we do not know the members of the team who are going to be doing the operations part or
That's
the
very
engineering
important,
part.
yes. Sanjay, let me bring you in on this. This is very important because the fact is that one aspect of this also would be the transparency with which this entire investigation is being conducted. Because remember, we are talking at a time when there are questions being raised on the number of jobs which are, the posts which are vacant in the DGCA, in the AAIB. These are very important, factors to be taken in account when it comes to civil aviation safety. Are you so far satisfied? Because Captain Chinta has made some very specific points with the way the government and of course the investigators, the DGCA, the Civil Aviation Ministry have handled this entire situation.
Yes, Ankit, Captain Chinta has pointed out, and he's absolutely right. The preliminary report has a time frame, and there should have been some initial statements made. The second point is, you rightly pointed out, and I've written this quite in a number of articles I've written. There's more than 50% of vacancies in the DGCA, and that's been for many years. We need to have reforms there. There's been very little transparency in this process. We do know that they're following an out-of-the-box system here. It's been highly politicized. Rather than having ministers speak about this, we should have had somebody from the AAIBs talking about it, or the DGCA. We are getting mixed signals across the board here, but we do hope that with the NTSB people on board, with ICAO representative now being invited to join the panel, we do hope that there will be absolute clarity and adherence to international laid down standards. That's a big concern that we have. And I think going forward, this is something that I've said for a while. It's time that we had a professional aviator as our regulator. It's not enough just having a few pilots in your, directorate. You need to have somebody who understands aviation thoroughly. It's let's get over the bureaucratic dividend. I'm sorry
Absolutely.
if I'm offending some bureaucrats, but it's high time. We are now the third largest aviation market in the world.
Right. Can I ask you, can I add a question to that, Sanjay, and ask you this, particularly with respect to Air India? You track various aspects, or in fact, all aspects as far as civil aviation is concerned. How badly has this hit the reputation of Air India? Remember, post the handover from the government, a private entity taking it over, possibly the expectation rose from the people that very soon the turnaround will take 6 months and you will see, world-class airlines in Air India. There have been a lot of problems which have, issues that people have been talking about, the ground situation, rostering, so on and so forth. But with this accident and then subsequent cancellations, even if they were overcautious, Air India has taken a big hit.
Well, the accident definitely has affected morale internally within Air India. It's affected the market perception of Air India. But I have no doubt that by and large, Air India is a very resilient organization. It's been around for close to 90 years, since the days JRD Tata started it. I have no doubt that they will bounce back strongly. There have been quite a few cancellations, as papers have mentioned. But I do think that, give it a few weeks, give it a month, and you'll see the revival of traffic and interest within Air India. I think they internally know they're going through a period of mourning and, reassessing every kind of step that they take. I have great belief in the resilience of Air India, and it's going to bounce back strongly.
Okay. Dr. Cecilian, let me ask you this. There was also a lot of confusion, which at least the minister has now clarified, with news reports coming in about India's capability to decode whatever is the data coming in from the black box. Initially, it was some news organizations reported that it will be sent to United States of America. We at NDTV confirmed this and said that the government has not taken a decision on that. Now the minister confirming that the process is going to take place in India. But on back of all this, people are raising the questions: do we have the kind of world-class capabilities that we can decode, deconstruct all this data in India itself?
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. People were asking this question for very long. But yes, it's like we had spent millions of dollars on creating a lab in AAIB in past 1 decade. And our equipments are very much developed where we can do the findings, and definitely we do it in a mock drills. We regularly do. We know that we don't have a regular accidents happening in India, but this is the procedure. We regularly do the checks of this equipment. So yes, we are equipped with all the equipment and we can come up with the result. But whereas ICAO already had proposed that they want to be a part of the team for the investigation. So definitely they will be a part of the team, and we will get all the support from US as well, from the ICAO team.
Right. Captain Chinta, let me bring you back in on the same question, sir. Because there has been so much speculation whether it is going to go abroad, the black box and so on and so forth. In fact, for the general public, for the layman, they believe that once the black box is there, it's a plug and play kind of a device. We should by now would have known exactly what have happened. I know it's a complicated process. It takes a lot of time, a lot of deciphering to, eventually come to some sort of a conclusion. But Captain Chinta, once again, the question is about whether there are capabilities, whether people post this accident can once again repose their faith in 787 and Boeing.
Ankit, exactly what I said. The AAIB owes it to the families of the people who lost their loved ones in the tragic accident, and the larger public who need to be assured that it is safe to fly on the Boeing 787. It is in that concern that it is expeditious on behalf of the entire aviation community in India and the regulator and the Ministry of Civil Aviation that this probe has to be conducted in the most transparent manner. The mere fact that the press release is by the PIB and not a press release or transparent interaction with the media by either a nodal officer, if not the Director General, the AAIB briefing the media, that should be in accordance with the ICAO Annexure 13. So when there is transparency, there has to be, as per the manual of accident investigation, a diary of action for every single day since the investigation is ordered has to be maintained. That need not be given to the larger public. But of course, we owe it to the public to assure them that the aircraft is safe and there are no immediate concerns as far the aircraft's technical capabilities are concerned. That is where, we should not be taking pot shots at our own regulator or the AAIB or the Ministry of Civil Aviation. We have to show the whole world that our house is in order. We are capable. We are highly capable of conducting this investigation well within. Yes, the ICAO has requested to be an outside observer. They have no other role other than being an observer, that the investigation is being carried out as per the ICAO mandated manual, because India is a signatory to ICAO. So we owe it to ICAO also that we are conducting the investigation, and since this is a very serious accident categorized and has a large reaching global impact, if there is something as far as the technical aspects of the aircraft are concerned.
Sanjay, but Boeing 787 is an aircraft which is widely used not just in India but across many countries and across many airlines. So this investigation, or whatever comes out of this investigation, will be an absolute interest globally as well. And for Boeing, which lost a large percentage of its share in the stock market after this crash, it will be very, very imperative for them also to come out clean. Like we saw with 787 MAX, aircrafts were grounded after multiple, accidents. Is there a sense of doubt with the operators as well till the time the report doesn't come out?
I can't speculate for operators, but it has huge impact and a lot of implications for Boeing. The other point that Captain CK rightly pointed out, and I said earlier, if you look at the US, any time there is an incident, you only see an NTSB spokesperson addressing the media. You do not see anybody from any ministry. You do not see anybody from FAA. You do not see, you see the airline person occasionally. But it's critically the NTSB. So there, in terms of transparency, let's have our own accident board speaking. That's one part. Second part, yes, the whole world will be watching this. There are 1,175 787s flying in the world today. And if there is something, and I say if, there's a big if there is something technically wrong here, then it will cause grave concern across the world. Or if there is something wrong with the engine. I'm not speculating. I'm not saying there is anything wrong. But I do believe that we need to be careful and watch this one with great interest, as will be, all of America and the world.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to us. Some very pertinent, important topics being raised here. Transparency is the key. The people, those who are in the investigation business, those who are in the civil aviation business, they are the ones, those who need to be, in fact, fronting this rather than the ministers or others. That's very, very important, which is coming in from the experts that we spoke to, and people are waiting for the first preliminary report. Time-bound manner investigation. The government has already announced 3 months. We are hoping that this really clears any doubts as far as this entire investigation is concerned. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. Coming back with much more. Stay tuned.